AM 1230 WJOB 104.7 FM, the voice and face of the region. Yes, this is me in on a Monday. I know you guys aren't used to that. But it is a special Monday because I get to talk one of my best topics that I like to talk about, and that, of course, is cybersecurity, information systems, some of the high-level stuff that's going on. And I get to do it with my favorite bald-headed guest, and that is Vince Mazza. How you doing?
I'm doing great, thanks.
He's one of the leaders in this industry, and he's sitting right here in the WJOB studios. How's it feel?
I'm liking this vibe here today. New studio,
this is the temp studio.
Yeah, I know.
We're building a new one out there.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's good.
Do you feel the vibe? Because, I mean, presidential candidates and so forth have been in this studio, and Martin Luther King's been in this building. And, I mean, You're talking a lot of history, and then here you are, your first Guard Street episode here in one of the most iconic buildings in the Calumet region.
First one this month. So yeah, it's a cool building. Yeah, a lot of history here.
Tell us, remind us what Guard Street does.
Sure. So we're a cybersecurity company. We focus mostly proactively on helping companies to put the protections and controls in place to protect themselves. And then we have a team, or actually 3 teams of ethical hackers, where we'll break into companies to verify where we could get in and give guidance as to where they can clean that up. And then we also handle the emergencies. And I brought Brian with Proven IT, as he's also part of the Alta Vista network that we network in together, and our companies are partners, and he's in the cyber IT space as well.
Brian, pull that mic a little bit closer to your mouth there.
Sure.
You were a coach, right?
I was, yes.
Where? Tell us where.
I was the assistant coach at St. Xavier University for 13 years, and then I was also the head football coach at Brother Rice High School in Chicago for 10 years.
We have 25 schools on our sister company, and we interview coaches almost daily. And never once did I have to tell them to pull the microphone closer because you lost that coach yell.
No, that's
Every
why
coach yells into the microphone.
But that's why I pulled it away from me. I'm more, because my assistant coach was like, Brian, put your mic away, because I would be screaming all the time. So,
Brian, you have come into the region. Your company has.
Yes.
And tell us about it and where you are now.
Sure. Actually, our corporate office is out of Tinley Park. We've been in business for 23 years. We moved into Maryville about 3 years ago. We've got about 9 locations around the Chicagoland area, and we actually just acquired a company out in Colorado as well, and in Nashville. So we're growing. We're about 350 employees. I've been with the company for about 9 years, and family owned, and we just moved into our new corporate office about a year ago in Tinley Park.
So Proven IT, people around here in the Calumet region have seen your billboards and stuff that, they're like, Proven IT, what the heck is that?
Right.
Explain.
So we have, we provide services. We have 5 tech fronts that we focus on, and we are a true MSP, managed service provider. We also handle telecom, surveillance, imaging, print, and business processing development, which is our content management software, and it's called Laserfish. So that's another part. So we have 5 tech fronts that we kind of focus on, like that one-stop shop. And we, small to mid-sized businesses, but we've worked with some large ones as well. So as far as your billboards you're referring to, we were, we are still partners with the White Sox, Chicago White Sox. Don't hold that against us, Vince.
We like the Cubs and the Sox, but mostly the Cubs.
Right. And also we were also partners with the Bears, Chicago Bears as well. So,
we like them too.
Yes.
So as we talked about, there's a lot of small to medium-sized businesses, but there's also a lot of, several location businesses and so forth. Do you guys handle down to the small to medium-size all the way up to the several location business?
Yes, absolutely. We're nationwide. We work with other dealers across the country, independent dealers. We've got some really good relationships. 80% of our business is around the Chicagoland area, but we can, I've got some clients all over the country, but typically the corporate offices are local.
So, Vince Mazza, as you guys may remember here, is the brainchild behind the Alta Vista network. As you guys well know, I do a podcast with Matt Hansen, the professor over here at Purdue. We talk about marketing. I got to tell you, Vince, never once, we talk about every angle, like what should you be involved in and what civic organizations, mostly what digital parts and what, where you should be and how you should make your data safe. I think we've done 120 episodes. Never once did we talk about marketing your business through something like the Alta Vista network. Please explain what it is and why someone should be a part of it.
Absolutely. So the Alta Vista network, it's a closed networking group, meaning that you're invited in.
You know what every one of these listeners and watchers are saying? It can't be that great if Jed might be in it. So just so you know. All right, but anyways, go ahead.
Truth be told, he's not in it. So
all right, good enough. Not yet. I might just get in it just to make fun of people. But anyways, go ahead.
Okay, so we're building it out nationally, and it's for business, and it's really the foundation of the business has a specific vision and a mission. So the vision, as you know, Zig Ziglar, our buddy, big fan of his, and you can get anything that you want in life by helping others get what they want out of life. And really, that's foundational. But the other aspect that's foundational is the Loras way. So Loras College is a very instrumental component behind this network. It's not all alumni because obviously Brian is not an alumni. But
you're a high school football coach. Did you even go to college?
Oh, I did.
He did.
I went to the Harvard of the Midwest, University of St. Francis.
Oh, okay. You're right. Okay.
So the Loras way is all about helping others, being selfless, building relationships, doing right by others, building trust. And so that's what our network is all about, except it's for business, and we're all about capitalism. And at the end of the day, this network also helps Loras College, but it helps the community as well.
Is Loras Jesuit?
It is.
Okay,
yes.
Yeah, because I recently been, I'm a big fan of Father Jim Martin. I don't know if you know who that is. Father Jim Martin's a Jesuit, and he writes a lot of books. His last one is called Working in Progress. But he talks about the Jesuit way that it put at the very forefront of what you're doing has to be service to others. If that's not the number one thing, then
nothing else matters.
You're just going to go through it, and you're an asterisk in your life. There it is. But what is it about the Jesuit way and about benefiting Loras and having the Loras background that you bring to the Alta Vista network?
Well, that concept alone, that foundation is better for others. It's not about me in the world of business. It's more about others and helping them achieve in their career. That's the foundation. And so, having a closed networking group as part of your sales plan, it's essential because it results in a more effective, efficient, and profitable network of clients. It ultimately becomes better for your clients if you have a closed networking group as part of your sales plan.
So closed networking groups are growing in popularity. Why?
Well, because you first of all, do you ever see that TV show called Gold Rush? You ever watch that? You ever see the commercials for it? You're really mining for gold.
Yeah, I've seen the commercials for it. I have not watched it.
Yep. And so the concept is to mine for gold in the right places. You should be, always prospecting land, but you want to focus your efforts on where you're going to get the greatest return and help others and also help yourself. That's kind of the concept behind a closed networking group.
Why are you involved? Why are you involved, Brian?
Ironically, I met Vince at another closed network group that we're both a part of, and from that relationship that we built there, then Vince asked me to be a part of Alta Vista, And I do have a connection with Loras College in a few different ways. A couple of my former players attended Loras College, and knew them very well. Some of my former teammates are from Loras. And I also married into the Jesuit family. My wife went to St. Ignatius, and my son actually attended John Carroll University, which is a Jesuit school. So that is a big part of what they preach, is serving and giving back to others.
Every day, man. I heard it 4 masses a week for 8 years at St. Thomas More with the Jesuit priest up there. Yeah.
Right. So, but with Vince and building our relationship became a good partnership through us at Proven IT and at Guard Street, and from there we've just recently partnered, and we're doing a lot of great work together, and looking to promote our businesses and continue to grow, and that's what it's all about.
So let me answer your question though. So why is a closed networking group so important? And then I want to talk a little bit about Brian and why he's in this group, and more about his company as well. But
because you got kicked out of being a football coach?
I don't think he got kicked out.
No.
By the way, when you just listen to this guy, I mean, you listen to him, you get motivated, you get in a good mood, and anybody who doesn't walk away in a good mood after talking to this guy is just a dud. I mean, it just fires you up. But the closed networking concept, you're invited in, there's an interview process so that you get the people who truly understand that mission, vision, want to live it. There's a commitment to be in, and also there's a commitment to be an advocate for the other members of the group. I'm an advocate for this guy and Proven IT, and I know that's reciprocal, and with the other members as well. And so when you get that, here's why it's better for your clients as well, because we're getting to know each other pretty well. I know his character. I know that he's a class act, and I'm very comfortable introducing him and his company to other prospects that would work out for him. And it works out better for the client because I've done my due diligence. I know who I'm referring. And it also results in a higher value client, because you've just taken the guesswork out for them and the ability to offer more. Yeah, they're going to go deeper because that trust is pre-built when it shows up.
So, Brian, you guys are in Maryville looking to expand, and with your MSPs and with other IT services. You say there's a 5 area front. There's a couple of competitors around here. How could some of the Vince has clients down here? If you guys don't understand Guard Street, you go back and watch some of the past podcasts. It's basically a cybersecurity firm, and they do have clients down here. And we've been doing the show for some time. But you guys are looking not just to come here, but to go into other areas. How could being part of a closed network help that?
Well, I really believe, like Vince was saying, having that great relationship and trusting that partnership. One thing I think, we kind of differentiates us at Proven IT, we have very good tenure, retention. In our industry, there's a lot of turnover. And if you know that someone's been there for 4 to 5 to 6, I've been there for 9 years. A lot of my colleagues have been there for 10 plus years at Proven IT. So to know they have that stability and willing to continue to grow like we have, we started 23 years ago, and we're over $110 million company now, with 350 employees. During COVID and everyone was cutting back, Proven IT, our owners, Brett Kosick and the owners really invested back into, our engineering group, focusing in on our IT and really wanting to grow and expand that. So I think, people knowing and understanding that, wow, they've really invested, and also having that tenure, I think is, comforting for a lot of our prospects and our current clients.
We're talking with Brian and Vince, and if you happen to be listening here on Monday in early February, we can actually take a phone call at 219-845-1100. But where do you want this to go, Vince?
So we're currently in the Chicago region, and we're setting up Dubuque, and we're going city by city and expanding this nationally.
Loris is in
Dubuque, Iowa. Sunny. I think it's 80 degrees there today. It's always beautiful in February.
in Dubuque, Iowa. Gosh, that's my relatives are from there, man.
Oh,
it's an awful place.
That is a wonderful place. It's a top 10 place to live. Anyway, so we're expanding it nationally, and Loris has an incredible reputation and a national footprint. And a lot of successful business people.
All right, so let's just use two examples. One would be myself, where I don't really get involved in anything. I'm all about service. Everybody knows that here that listens to the 102-year-old radio stations and the sports and all that. And then there's a relative of yours that I know well that has really questionable social skills. So
he's got them all wrong.
Stop. I know exactly. So all right, literally, but I know he's all about service.
Yeah, he is.
And I'm all, try to do what I can for the community. How would someone, maybe a little bit more of maybe not the typical person that would get into a closed network, how do you bring them in?
Well, we might not. We might not bring them in. No.
What? You're right.
But look, we're looking for very specific aspects. It's got to be a person that's all about serving. It's got to be somebody in business. There's an exclusivity, a category exclusivity to be in the group. So
going back to the Jesuit tradition, I wasn't going to make that because my local priest is like, you can't make fun of Jesuits all the time.
You can't.
I go, but they're the most arrogant. I mean, they're the most exclusive part of the Catholic religion. Just ask them; they'll tell you. But anyways, okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Having fun today, but if they meet the criteria really about serving others and then helping the folks in the group, they're going to get in. And if they don't have the social skills to get to that point, they have to have some. So,
Brian, have we covered a lot of what we wanted to cover about Alta Vista Network? By the way, Alta Vista Network is paying me, so I have to cover what you want to talk about because I want to talk to Brian about football. Is that okay?
We're going to get to football, but I do want to point out a couple things that you and Brian brought up. Proven IT, they're great success in a lot of ways. There's a lot of reasons for it, but a big reason is the people. And Brian is a prime example of that. I've walked through their halls. I've met with a lot of their folks, and I see leaders. I see achievers. I think that and they're all about serving clients, serving the Jesuit way. But they're all about serving their clients.
Vince made a joke. I'm pretty sure that's the first time that's ever happened.
See, lack of social skills right here. It's a miracle that the network is in place. But that's something that I've seen top down laterally. That's why this company is so successful, because of the character of people like that. Let's talk football.
No, let's go on that for Proven IT. It's kind of a field that every business or organization, schools especially, everybody kind of needs that service. There's a lot of schools in this area. There's a lot of mini mills and 200 people places that do business. There's a lot of businesses that have several locations all the way across the Calumet region. What could you say to them that would differentiate Proven IT, which obviously you're trying to get stronger in the market?
Right. So we work with all different vertical markets. 60% of our business is with schools and municipalities, but we do work with all vertical markets, manufacturing, financial, legal, absolutely. So, I think that for our clients, our potential clients, to know that we've invested in the community. Obviously we have our one of our offices in Maryville, Indiana. We partnered with Think Tank about 4 years ago, and that's been a great partnership. And now they're a part of Proven IT team, and we have people from the community that work for us. And we're very family oriented, and giving back is a big part of what Proven's all about. Being a private school, all the way from grade school through college through my master's. Giving back and providing services is very important to proven, and that's why I've been very fortunate to be with them for 9 years and hopefully for many more.
You grew up where?
South side of Chicago, Evergreen Park. Attended, you asked me what parish I was from, which was great, the Queen of Martyrs. And I attended Brother Rice High School, went to St. Francis University. I played football, baseball there. You were talking about, the network. I grew up in a family network. My grandfather was a head basketball coach at St. Rita. And my dad was a head football coach at Fenwick, and he was assistant at St. Lawrence, head coach at North Central. I coached, so I was like third generation Catholic League. And I was very fortunate to be able to, meet a lot of great people through my dad and my grandfather that helped me get business when I started in the business world. And all three, my grandfather and my dad, they were teachers and coaches, moved on from that, went into sales because they had to provide for their family. And that's what I needed to do. So this is my 4th year in that coaching. I do miss it, but, I got to do what I have to do for my family. And I've got 4 kids in private education. We all know how expensive that is.
So, Brian, obviously, this is the radio station, and we've been doing sports for 102 years, but we also have a streaming video company. So we're in a lot of high schools. I think we have 25 direct affiliates and then have a whole bunch of others. When you talk about Catholic League football in Chicago, the main thing that comes up with coaches around here and administrators is like, oh my gosh, they're gonna take our Marion's not in the Catholic League, but they're gonna take some of our our best players. Certainly, Rita has taken a lot of really good football players out of this area. What can you say about the level of competition in the Chicago Catholic League?
It's been a conference, I think they're in their 118th year, a lot of tradition. It's their livelihood. These coaches and teachers, it's a vocation. They don't get paid a lot of money, but they're doing it for the mission, and they promote their schools, they market their schools. It's a very unique fraternity, sorority, and there's a lot to offer. There's a lot of great schools. The public schools do a great job, but there is that special niche, that family environment. They're smaller schools typically, right, than a lot of the public schools that you compete with. And, it is one of the better conferences, not only in the state of Illinois, but in the Midwest. So you want to be a part of that at all different, they play, baseball and all these other sports as well. When you want to be the best, you want to play the best. And,
how do you feel about Mount Carmel?
Mount Carmel, very, very impressed with them. I battled with them for many years. We had some success versus them, which I thoroughly enjoyed, I'll be honest with you. I know they've recruited the region over the years. And
typically, every 4 years, you look in their backfield and their starting tailback is from Dyer, Indiana, or something like. How did that get through?
Well, I think, again, it's so competitive. A lot of these private schools, they're trying to stay alive, and whatever they have to do, academically, athletically, to keep their schools going. And I think a big part of a lot what the Catholic schools do, and we started this at Brother Rice, character development is a big part of, our program. And I know a lot of other schools are doing that as well. We want to develop these great young men to be great fathers and great husbands, not just be great football players, and I think that's a true student athlete. I think that's a lot that, kind of differentiates ourselves a little bit. And I know there's a lot of other great schools and great coaches and programs across the, Midwest area that do that as well. But I think it's more about just wins and losses. It's about developing these great young men too.
We're coming in, people hear this long time afterwards, but last night was the Super Bowl and Seattle won convincingly. Did you predict that?
I did. I thought Seattle was definitely the better team. I think the NFC was definitely above in a lot of ways than the AFC this past year. And I think Mike Vrabel, a heck of a coach, did a heck of a job.
He looks like a Catholic. He looks like a
He
Catholic
does.
League
He
coach.
does. I love everything about Mike Vrabel besides going to Ohio State, to be honest with you. But he is amazing.
He was a little bit of a dirty player. People forget
He was
that.
a son of a gun. Yes.
Thank you for keeping that clean. When
Yes.
you said "son of a," I'm
No,
like,
no.
This
The
is
Catholic school came out.
That's right. That's right.
if it was true Catholic school, you would have said it.
No, no.
But no, it's like
Right.
I stopped for a minute there, but
But no, he did a heck of a job, and Mike McDonald and the defense dominated the game, and in true fashion. So the best team won for sure.
So you're at Proven IT now, and you're trying to get some schools and some municipalities and so forth here in Northwest Indiana. What kind of team do you have?
So we have, again, Maryville is one of our offices. We've got a sales manager out there. We have about 5 representatives on the imaging side, about 2 or 3, and then we also have our managed service provider MSP reps as well. So we have a good team that we're growing. I'm going to be more involved with that team moving forward in 2026 and beyond, which I'm very excited about. I've got a daughter that goes to Butler University. She plays lacrosse. She's a sophomore, so I'm going to be down I-65 a lot, so it worked out well.
Thanks for bringing your money
Yes.
across the state
Oh,
line.
for sure.
Pretty soon you're going to be living down here.
I know,
that,
I know.
right?
I think that's
Oh,
the plan,
that's-
maybe.
yeah,
I think
yeah.
that's the plan.
You know how that is.
Maybe get the whistle back
Better
on in a few years.
taxes.
We'll get back to Proven IT, but that is a routine that happens. Like I've known a lot of people that, the kid went to Butler or he went to St. Francis out here on the Indiana side,
Right.
or the kid went to IU and they're driving back and forth. They stop for gas, they stop to eat. Then they hear how much a house costs and
Yes.
what the taxes are. And they're like, well, that house is about to be like 2 or 3 times more on the other side. And then the taxes would be 3 or 4 times higher. And then next thing you know, they got a nice big house here on the
Right.
Indiana side, and that's why there's so much growth here. But thank you for bringing your money, even if
Right.
it is a private school.
Right.
So Proven IT, I mean, you talk about trust. There are a lot of people that will listen to this or watch this that are like only into trust. Like they only want to kind of do business with people that they feel are trustworthy and that they're going to know. Certainly, I know you, and that isn't always the greatest recommendation here, but what can you say to those prospective people that are like, man, I just want someone managing my network that I can trust?
I think the first part of that process is we kind of do an assessment on the IT side and on the imaging side. And we'll give it's a free assessment. We come in and figure out what are some of the needs, where they're vulnerable on the IT side, on the imaging side, kind of look at what they're spending and try to say, hey, we try to be more efficient, more cost effective, and we provide them the information after our assessment, and that builds a trust. We want to work together with you, and how can we help you be more effective and more efficient? And here's what we've done at X and Y, Z other organizations, schools, that help them save money and provide the services. And, when you have an issue, you can give me a call. I'm going to answer my phone. You're not calling, some toll-free number and contacting someone outside, down in Texas or whatnot. So it's right here. Everything's local. We have a team on the IT side. We have that support. We have it on our with our technicians on the imaging side. So you build that trust, and we also have a lot of testimonials from a lot of other clients that we work with that we can provide these potential clients, what are some success stories that we've had.
Well, I think your approach too, though, all that is great and builds trust, but also you've taken a position as an IT company when it comes to vulnerabilities, as you pointed out, is how those are identified.
You always bring it back to cybersecurity.
I do, because it's so important to what he does as well, and that's why our companies are partners. There are some managed service providers that will, we'll do the pen test, and they press a button, it's some automated thing, and it's their own, they're doing it. Well, that's the accountant and the auditor being the same person. They've taken the position that let's use an independent party like Guard Street, where we will go in and conduct the penetration test and identify those vulnerabilities. Now we're independent.
So, getting back to the Alta Vista network, this would be the kind of, I guess, bridge, and you would hire proven IT, moving pretty aggressively into this area and managing the whole network. But there's that extra level where someone has to look and say, is this safe? Is it secure? Vince would try to have his guys ethically hack into it, and they would work together and hopefully just kind of be a turnkey thing where they don't have to they don't have to worry about it.
You said it perfectly. Turnkey.
Yes, there you go.
He's Vince Mazza. Brian, last name again?
Badkey, Brian Badkey.
Brian Badkey. This has been about the Alta Vista network. If you think you might want to do this or you want to know more, don't contact me, please, because I probably will never get back to you. But you could contact Vince Mazza. How would they get a hold of you?
They would go to the Alta Vista network on LinkedIn, and there's a URL there, and reach out.
And is there any videos or anything that they could see? Will they see them there on the website?
Yeah, in fact, we'll post this show right there.
There it is. And Brian Badkey, Vince Mazza, I'm Jim Delo for the Alta Vista Network. Next show in how long?
3 months. May. We'll actually have Michael from Loras College who will be attending. That'll be a fun show.
Good,
Michael
because
Burnett.
we could talk about the Jesuit way, which I'm a huge believer in as much as I make fun of it. And I hope that you guys didn't take that as some sort of
we don't
bad thing.
We don't take it personal, and I pray for you every day. I truly do. I do want to point out that the Alta Vista Network, we're going to be having our first larger event at Wrigley Field. Arthur J. Gallagher is part of our network, the COO there, and so we will be having our first major event there in May.
It's not at Rate Field?
Wrigley Field.
Rate Field, did you say?
Stop.
There you go.
Hey, guys, until next time, see you later.